Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all 30 teams, soon to be 31. Last night there was a game between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. There was a questionable situation where Simmonds elbowed or chicken winged Dumoulin. It was Dumoulin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't believe there was a call on the play. Pretty sure there wasn't. And since then, it's gotten a lot of discussion in the hockey community. So we just thought we'd make a video about it and just discuss it. So I said this in a couple of the other Hot Topic videos. Disclaimer, we're not right. We're not saying we're right. These are just our opinions. This is just a discussion, a discussion between us and a discussion between you in the comments and a discussion for the whole hockey community. So this is just, we're just looking at this situation just subjectively and broadly and just looking at all aspects of it. So if you disagree with us, that's totally fine. Leave your comment, but just do it respectfully and constructively. All right, so when I first saw the hit, I didn't really know what to think, and I watched it on the Sportsnet YouTube channel, and I left a comment. I said, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It's right along the lines of intentional or accidental, and I honestly can't tell even from the slow-mo. I think I'm leaning towards intentional, as it does look a bit like he threw his elbow and he knew where it was going. And I asked other people in the comment section, like, what do you guys think? And someone said, I see your point. It's in slow-mo, it looks completely intentional. However, if you speed it up, it looks like a complete accident. Also, Dumoulin did kind of turn into the elbow. I think it was an accident. Someone else said, it's true because it kind of looks like Simmonds was just trying to move his elbow and skate faster, but it also looks like he kind of pushed it out a little bit more. And then the third person said, I don't think it was intentional. It looked like Simmonds was just moving his left elbow up to try to make a slice at the puck. And although just because it probably was an accident doesn't mean it wasn't a penalty, Flyers got lucky. So it's interesting to see other people's opinions and stuff and to see how they feel. And the more I watch it, the more I'm just kind of on the fence about it. I can't really make up my mind, and I think I'm still leaning towards it. Maybe it was intentional, and I've watched Simmonds play for not a while, but I've probably watched between 5 and 10 games of him in the lineup with either LA or Philadelphia over the few years. And I know he plays a hard game. I know he's a tough competitor, and he does kind of play in the line a little bit. You could argue that he crosses the line sometimes, much like this play here. And I think Justin has a little bit of a history for Simmonds here, not so much history, but you've probably seen him more than I have, being a Pittsburgh fan. And so I'll toss this over to you. How do you feel about it?
Well, I always get up for a Penguins-Flyers game, that's for sure. But right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the last thing they need is to lose another defenseman. Their blue line has been hurting all year. And if, say, Dumoulin does have a concussion from this or an injury of some other magnitude that could keep him out for a while due to this, that would be very unfortunate for them. I've watched this play I don't know how many times, and on Sportsnet they had it running at full speed, and then they slowed it right down from different camera angles. And watching it at full speed, it doesn't look intentional at all. It looks as if he just skated by, and Dumoulin just happened to turn directly into him as he was skating by. But then when they slowed it down, you really see that left elbow kind of flail out from his body very, very quickly and very, very suddenly, just as he's coming into contact with Dumoulin. And sadly, as Dumoulin was turning, his own momentum and body weight going into that elbow is going to make it probably 2 to 3 times more severe for him. In my opinion, I firmly believe Simmonds stuck out that elbow on purpose. And it pains me to say it because I really like Simmonds. I like what he brings to the game. And as you pointed out, he's a very hard-nosed player, and I really like that. And every team needs a guy like that. But it looked 100% intentional to me, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Pittsburgh fan. But it really looks like that elbow just kind of shoots out if you watch the slow motion replay. And I really encourage you to check that out for yourselves and take a look at that. But To me, if you go back, you look at Simmonds' history, the guy hasn't been suspended before, but he does have a few questionable hits that have been reviewed by the Department of Player Safety. So I guess you could say he's kind of a guy that's on radar a little, but not to the severe point. So he has had some questionable plays that were reviewed, but nothing came of them. But do I think he should be suspended for this? Absolutely, because to me it looks 100% deliberate that he stuck that elbow out, and I definitely think he should get a game or two for this.
You see, this is the interesting part about this discussion, because we go into a lot of videos not knowing how the other person feels, and we do this on purpose because we want the conversation to be genuine and
Right.
things. So I had no idea that you thought it was 100% intentional.
Yep.
So I guess this is where we disagree a little bit, and that's totally fine. We can disagree, and you can disagree with him or me. That's what this is all about.
Yep.
That's the magic of all of this, is the discussion on it. And even though I do disagree with you, I'm still kind of on the fence. I don't want to say that it was intentional, but I don't want to say it's not. It's just kind of one of those things. But one thing I do agree with you on is you said that Dumoulin was turning a little bit.
Yeah,
and I think that made it a little worse.
Around.
So to me, I think it was a combination maybe of both. Maybe he did stick out the elbow.
Yeah.
Well, he did. It's clear that he did stick out the elbow. Whether he did it intentionally or not is another question. And then Dumoulin turned. So to me, I think it's just both of them doing those two actions, Dumoulin turning and the elbow coming out from Simmonds, caused the severe impact that it did. So in my personal opinion, I don't think there will be a suspension, and I don't want to see a suspension.
Well, the other real concerning factor here is that Dumoulin missed an extended period of time earlier in the season already with a broken jaw.
Did he leave the game?
Dumoulin, yeah, he left the game. You could tell he was kind of woggy too. Like after his elbow made contact with his head and he fell down, you could tell it had a severe effect immediately on him. Because those elbow pads, they're almost like concrete.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like the new ones, if you go into any sports retail and you pick one of those up and actually test it out for yourself, just slam it in your hand, those things are hard as rock. And there's not much give there, that's for sure. But yeah, it was just a very unfortunate play, and I hate just openly admitting if I think someone's guilty or not based on a play. I'm not inside their head. I don't know what they were thinking at the time, but just based off the slow-mo replay, man, it looks so deliberate that he just purposely stuck that elbow up at the last second.
And that's the beauty of this. You're not wrong. This is your opinion.
Yeah, it's just my opinion on
hundreds of thousands of people who agree exactly like you do. And I don't know if the NHL has announced that he will have a hearing or not.
Yeah,
by the time this releases,
yet.
maybe it's already been announced that he will have a hearing, or maybe it's by the time this is released, he'll already have been suspended or fined or whatever. Like I said, I don't think he'll be suspended. I don't want to see him suspended, although I think he's still responsible for his actions on the ice, and he clearly caused an injury on the play. I personally believe that he should be fined, but not suspended. And you personally believe that he should be suspended.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you to go a little further in that. How many games?
One
game?
Yeah, he has no previous history with suspensions. Yeah, he's had hits that they've reviewed, but there's been no suspensions handed out. I would say one game, based on their current protocol. Even though I say if they deem a hit suspendable, I really wish the amount of games were higher to maybe try to curve these types of scenarios. But yeah, a game.
Cool. Well, that was a great discussion. Thank you for joining me on this one. These are always pretty fun. We never know how you guys feel going into this, and we usually find out later how you guys feel, but it's always interesting to know how you feel. So we appreciate you guys watching this video so far. If this is your first post-to-post video, I hope you subscribe. We're making videos just like this. So we made a Crosby video the other day, and then we made another Crosby video the other day. There's been a lot of Crosby drama going on, yeah. And then there was a couple of other hits we've discussed, and we're going to talk about... What's the other one we're talking about?
Well, we're also going to be talking about the Haley sucker punch.
Right, the sucker punch from Haley. So we're going to film that next. So that'll be releasing just after this one, I think. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you can join us here on Post to Post by hitting the subscribe button. And if you want to stay up to date with all our videos, the best thing you can do is hit the little bell icon down below and click the enable email notifications or whatever it is, so you can get emailed right away whenever we release a video. So we hope you can do that, and we hope you stick around for the upcoming video, and we'll see you in that one. Adios.